Okay, collisions and collision handling. So a collision is where the memory location generated for the key is not unique, as it's already been taken up by another one. So there's two ways of dealing with it. So what we mean is, if we say um, John Smith as a key got generated to be memory location 152, and then later on Sandra D came up with the same memory location. This can happen. It's a really common error with hash tables, and it's known as a collision. And there's two kind of things you can do with this. So you can either chain. So chaining is if two keys generate the same location, then they're to be stored. Then that memory location will become its own array with more than one item of data inside. So it'd either be an array or it'd have a pointer that points to another memory location, and you'd chain them on, you'd link them together so that the memory location could store essentially more than one value. Okay, that's okay. Obviously, for that memory location, you've then got you get to that point, and if there's more than one data in, you then need to run a search algorithm through that data until you find the piece of data you're looking for, which isn't ideal. Okay, so alternatively, you could do rehashing. Now, rehashing is more time consuming, but can potentially end up in a better final data structure once it's completed. So, rehashing is where you pick an alternative algorithm, or you sort of edit some variables within the algorithm you're using, and then you rehash the key for everything. So, everything that's already been stored in your data structure, you rehash, so you change the keys and the memory locations for all of that data. So data is going to be moving all over the place, and potentially every piece of data that's currently stored might have to move to a different location because you're basically changing the hashing algorithm you're using. All right, but to a more complicated one that's less likely going to cause a collision. So there, if you get a collision, it's important you know what a collision is when we're talking about hash tables. So understand what a collision is, and then the two ways of dealing with it, which is either chaining or rehashing.